Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am Pharmacist Ben, registered pharmacist number 12275, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day in The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, we are your go-to source for all things health and nutrition. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, or have questions about the longevity supplements or our Truth Skin Health supplements or ingredients or formulations, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470. And if you want to sign up to join the Brightside Ben team, call 866-735-2470 for a one-time $30 fee. You can be in business for yourself, help spread the word about the importance and power of a good nutritional supplement program, and literally change lives at the most fundamental level there is, which is the level of good health. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And we've got lots of specials running at truthtreatments.com. If you've ever wanted to dip your toe in the water and check out our Truth Treatments, got lots of great specials and opportunities for you to do just that. Holiday specials, Black Friday specials, etc. Truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, silicone, oil, water, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Treatment products. They're all up at truthtreatments.com. Healing is beauty. Taking care of the health of your skin is how you want to make your skin beautiful, and that is what we've been talking about here on the Bright Side for the last few weeks, and we'll continue talking about the skin. I am most of you guys know, I've been in the skincare business for many years, and I am a lover of the skin and a connoisseur of skin ingredients, we'll say. Not so much products, because I formulate the products, but the ingredients. I'm a connoisseur of ingredients. I love good ingredients. And there's not a lot of things you can do to the skin topically, but there are definitely things you could do to the skin topically. We have this kind of sort of strange idea about how to treat the skin. On the one hand, we kind of intuitively know our skincare products aren't going to do much. On the other hand, we're desperately seeking Susan. We're desperately seeking a product that will do something. And the reason we're not really getting the satisfaction we want out of the skin, no surprise, or getting the satisfaction we want out of our skincare products, and our skin for that matter, no surprise, is because we don't understand our skin and we don't understand products. It's like anything else in the world of health. It's like a lot of things in the world in general. We don't understand money. We don't understand politics. We don't understand law. We don't understand civics and government. We don't understand things. And when we don't understand things, we fall victim to charlatans. In politics, this happens all the time. Not that I want to get political. We falling victim to charlatans in politics is because we don't understand government and civics and politics. Falling for charlatans in general is because we don't understand psychology. And falling for the medical models because we don't understand our body. And falling for skincare product baloney is because we don't understand our skin. When you don't understand something, you become a victim. That's why I said knowledge is power. Francis Bacon said knowledge is power. I personally think knowledge is potential power and action is power. Nonetheless, you got to have knowledge if you're going to operate effectively in life. That's what I'm doing on this program, is I'm trying to put out knowledge so that we can be effective in life at the most fundamental level there is health. And I'm compelled to do that because I don't know why. I must. I'm not the only person. You know, there are writers who say they have to write. Dr. Wallach has to speak. I got to do the same thing. There's this thing that compels me to help people understand how the world works. I live in the world, and if the world is not satisfied and happy and complete and actualized, it's no fun for me either. Not that I'm any of those things. Point being is that sharing information that can give people power helps everybody. If we don't understand the basics about our body, we're going to fall victim, and it happens all the time. And the people who are selling us the stuff, they're not going to tell us. So when it comes to the skin, there's certain things we got to understand, basics that we got to understand. First of all, when it comes to the body, this is the most fundamental thing. What I'm going to say now is probably the most fundamental thing that we have to understand when it comes to taking care of our health. The outside comes from the inside. The visible comes from the invisible. That's the most important thing to understand about probably a lot of things, but specifically about the body and about health. What you see started off somewhere else. And if you want to take care of the problem, you got to take care of it at the somewhere else, not at the what you see. And because the skin is so obviously visible, it's like a poster child for this idea. But heart disease is the same thing. And diabetes is the same thing. When you have heart disease, when you have palpitations, when you have arrhythmias, the problem isn't the heart. The problem is in what's causing the arrhythmia. You see it at the level of the heart. If you have a fatty liver, the problem isn't the fatty liver, it's what's causing the fatty liver. Ultimately, the fatty liver is going to mess things up too, but you can't really address it at the level of the fatty liver or anything. If you have psoriasis, you can't address it at the level of the skin. That is the most important thing to understand about health. If where you see the problem is not where the problem begins. The skin is a classic example of that because it's so obviously visible. It's on the outside of the body. When you see a pimple, that's not the problem, even though to us it's the problem. When you see the rash of psoriasis or the irritation of eczema, all of these things are... All of these visible manifestations of the invisible world are what we call disease, are the wrong place to focus. When it comes to the skin is a defensive system. It's an immune organ. It's a lot of things, actually. You know, the skin is emanating an electrical field. The skin, the body, we can kind of understand that the body emanates an electrical field. I hope we can. That's called an aura. Used to be that if you had an aura, if you talked about auras, it was like, ooh, that's all hippy-dippy, new age. No, it's not. It's an energy that's emanating off the body that can be photographed. And it makes sense. Everything emanates energy, so the body emanates energy. But the skin itself emanates energy. That's why you have these touch screens. Touch screens work by the energy that's emanated off of your finger. If you had gloves on, if you've ever tried to work your iPhone with gloves, you know it doesn't work. Because it depends on the energy. There's a field around your finger. That's not just a field around your finger based on your body, but the skin itself is emanating a field. The skin, not the organ. This is so amazing, this field. Do you know that this field is sensitive to disturbances? The skin's field is sensitive to disturbances. So sensitive that it will connect with genetics and change your genetics. Yes, touch is epigenetic. That's why there's this thing with babies called failure to thrive, a disease or a condition that babies get called failure to thrive when they're not touched. Because the touching epigenetically stimulates and upregulates the immune system, the digestive system. The ability of the baby to absorb nutrients is connected to the mother's touch. Touch, just the touch. And by the way, it isn't even really touch. It's like, we call it touch, but it's really gentle touch, which is almost like your finger isn't even touching the skin of the mother's skin. Finger isn't even touching the baby's skin. It's the fields interacting. If the baby's skin is touched too much, you get a different epigenetic phenomena. If you press harder, that's how unbelievably sensitive the skin is. And we don't even think about it. We just rub stuff on it. Don't even think about it. All right, I got more to say here about the skin. We're going to talk about the skin as a defensive organ, which we touched on last program. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here, 844-236-6010 is our number, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about skin health, skincare products, anything you read about or heard about, formulations, ingredients, comments, or success stories, 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day on the bright side. 866-735-2470 is the number for the Brightside Ben phone team. If you want to help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, if you fancy yourself a health coach, if you ever want to be a nutrition coach, we teach you how to be a nutrition coach. You say, oh, well, I can't diagnose. Doesn't matter. But you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be diagnosed. You're going to be a nutrition coach. And it's very, very simple. If you've been listening to this program for any length of time, you know it's really simple. Simple. It's sometimes it's so simple, I feel like it's too simple. It sounds really silly. Just work on the digestive system. How's that for simple? Work on your gut. Do a food diary and fast. Fast and do a food diary. And elimination diet. Fast food diary, elimination diet. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I say that every time. Right? Because the digestive system is the point of entrance of the outside into the inside. It makes perfect sense. If you think about it logically, the outside world meets the inside world at the level of the digestive system. We've been talking about the skin as a defensive organ. The skin is an immune organ. We've been talking about inflammation as being involved with all chronic health challenges. Inflammation is immunity. Immunity is defense. Defense is protection. This is logic. This is not medicine. This is logic. This is not fancy schmancy biochemistry and, something you have to really understand, sophisticated concepts in physics and chemistry, although you can, and it definitely makes it easier. And when you do understand physics and chemistry and sophisticated comments, everything I'm saying makes perfect sense. It's completely logical. The body is a defensive system, and the body has a defensive system. Disease is a manifestation of that defensive system. Disease represents dis-ease, a body out of ease. It is not responding to the outside environment. This is the very essence of what it means to be alive, to respond to the outside environment. The outside environment meets the inside environment where? At the level of the intestine, the small intestine. This is complete logic. I was talking to a gal yesterday, a nurse, friend of mine. She's become a friend of mine. She's taking care of a friend of mine who's 87 years old. He's a dentist. An animal dentist, Dr. Pete, and Dr. Pete is not doing well. Dr. Pete is a poster child of what the medical model can do to even very intelligent people. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so I'm talking to Karen, and she said, I forgot what she said to me about something about being a foodie, about how I watch what I eat. And I always say this on this program, and I'll just say it again. I don't watch what I eat. I'm not a foodie. I do watch what I eat more than most people probably, but I'm not a freak about it at all. And sometimes you may see me eating a piece of pizza or whatever. All right? Now, the point I'm making here is that it's not about good food, good person, bad person, I eat bad, I eat good. It's not about any of that. It's about if you're sick, if you have a chronic disease, which means 1 out of 4 people or 1 out of 5 people, which is a lot of people, millions of people have a chronic disease. Millions of people have multiple chronic diseases. And by chronic, I mean something that's just not getting better. The outside world meeting the inside world at the level of the intestine represents a major leverage point, a major power point. This is about leverage, about where you can work to heal your body. It's not about being a good person or a bad person. It's about if you have arthritis or hypertension or diabetes, I get a kick out of these things. Oh, we can't say you cure diabetes, but we can help you with your diabetes. We guarantee we take this supplement, we'll help you. Well, of course. It's a food issue. It's a lifestyle issue. And diabetes, if you do the math, is like the first leading cause of death because it's behind cancer and heart disease, which typically get considered the leading causes of death. Anyway, what I'm saying here is that the defensive response has to be mastered. See, we think of this word stress. We hear this word stress all the time. Stress is not a problem because, you see, stress is just a stimulus. Stimulus response, 2 basic phenomena. In life, there's 2 basic phenomena, stimulus response. Stress is a stimulus. It stimulates one of 2 things. Stress will stimulate growth, or it will stimulate shutdown. Stress will, or I should say defense, which includes shutdown. Stress will stimulate defense, or it will stimulate growth. Okay? Put stress at the top of a triangle, and then have two lines coming off of that like a triangle, and you'll see one line says defense, the other line says growth. Stress is the stimulus, is at the top of the line, at the top of the triangle, top of both lines. In a context of resources, when there are resources available, physical resources, oxygen, we're going to talk about the physical body here. We're going to talk about stress in the physical body. When there are resources, that is nutrients, oxygen, and psychological resources, psychic resources like willingness and determination and contentment, all of these kinds of psychological and physical resources will allow stress to turn into growth, to stimulate growth. But under conditions of lack of resources, defense will kick in. See, the stress is not the problem. It's the response to the stress is either defensive or it is growth. Physics, they call it complexity. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I will say that all of these things I'm talking about here really are part of something called complexity physics or systems theory physics. And this is all kind of, it's about 100 years old, not even. It's about 80 years old, 70 years old. We understood how systems grow, how systems develop. When we talk about being healthy, it means our system is developing more and more complexity, which ultimately leads to a better ability to handle life, which is a positive feedback loop, because the more better you're able to handle life, the more complexity you get, the more better you're able to handle life you are, etc. So it's a positive feedback if you can do this correctly. Stress can lead to positive changes if you understand how to master it. However, this is the key right here, folks. We don't know how to master it because we don't understand our bodies. We don't understand any of these things I'm talking about here today. Nobody's talking about this stuff. This is basically the owner's manual of how to master your chemistry, how to master your biology. It's one thing to do it if you're healthy and well and you want to just max out. But if you're sick, it's not just, it's a must, understanding how your body works. Otherwise, you're going to be on a beta blocker. My friend Pete, beta blocker. I was talking to Karen. I said she's ripped. She's saying, well, you're eating all this crappy food or whatever. She heard me talk about eating crappy food. And I said, look, Karen, this is not about eating crappy food. This is about if you're sick, you can do something about it. And I pointed to my friend Pete, who was sitting there. And he says, I said, niacin's one of the best antihypertensives you can take. Magnesium's one of the best antihypertensives you can take. And she's like, are you serious? Oh my God, Pete, we got to get you on some niacin. We got to get you on magnesium. She's a nurse. She had no idea about any of this stuff. Nobody's talking about any of this stuff. Stress can be mastered if you know how the body's working. You master stress by giving your body resources. Nutrition is a major resource. The Mighty 90 essential nutrients are a major stress management resource. Major. And this is why if you're diseased, you're under maximum stress, you respond so quickly. Because you're giving your body resources for it to handle the stress. See, the body loves to grow. It wants to grow. But it needs the resources to do it. It wants to be better. It wants to heal itself, i.e. the placebo effect. It has a tendency towards healing. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're back on the bright side. Got lines open. 844-236-6010 is our number. Excuse me, 844-236-6010. Call 866-735-2470 for longevity products and head to truthtreatments.com for all our Truth Treatment products. We've got lots of specials running. If you've ever wanted to experiment, if you've heard us talking about Truth Treatments now and you think that preservative-free and filler-free and high amounts of actives and healing is beauty, healing products or beauty products that you can use for healing sounds good. Wouldn't you rather use a product on your skin that will be used like medicine? You just need 1 drop or 2 drops. Wouldn't you rather put smaller amounts of stuff on your skin? We talked about the skin, how important the skin is as a electrical system. What do you think you're doing when you put wax on there or preservatives on there or chemical sunscreens? Oh my God. I don't want to hear about, you need sunscreens because of skin cancer and because of aging. From a strictly biochemical standpoint, it is ludicrous to put a sunscreen on your skin, and I know that I'll probably get people ripping me. Whenever I say that in I have to really be careful now when I do talks because people freak out when I say that. But I'm just talking chemistry. I know you need to protect your skin from the sun, but the best way is internally. If you're going to burn, wear sunscreen. Get it off as soon as you can. Wear sunblock, ideally. Zinc oxide. All right. I'm going to read a couple stories here, and we'll get your phone calls, 844-236-6010 from the Journal of Clinical Investigation. New ALS therapy in clinical trials. What could that be? Do you think it's essential fatty acids? No. Do you think it's working on probiotics, the gut, working on intestinal health, food diaries, elimination diet? No. It's a drug that extends survival, reverses some neuromuscular damage in animals. Listen, you may be able to take a drug to extend survival based on, in terms of one of your symptoms, but you can't say it's going to extend your survival all around because a drug is a toxin. And it's going to cause deficiencies in resources in addition to mobilizing the body's stress management system, which is already stressed out. It's going to direct you down the wrong triangle, down the wrong side of the triangle, if you will. If you take a drug to take care of a health challenge, it's going to pull you down towards the disease leg of the triangle rather than the thrival end of the triangle. If you take our triangle metaphor from earlier today. So anyway, this is a drug that works on a genetic mutation. See, this is what they believe causes ALS. It's this genetic mutation, a gene called SOD1. You hear all about these genes now. And then you notice that the genes are different when somebody has a disease, and they assume that it's the different gene that's causing the problem when they don't realize that the problem is causing the different gene. The genes are epigenetically modified. They're changed by the environment that the cell is sitting in. When a cell is sitting in poison and toxin and lack of resources, etc., it switches on. It switches genetics. The genetics change based on the environment. This is so important in this world that we live in, where we're obsessed with modifying genetics, present company excluded. We got to understand that we modify the genetics through our lifestyle. This is a drug that's going to supposedly changes this modification. I don't know how the heck it works. It changes the modification. It turns the gene back on or turns the gene back on. Mice were given an anti-SOD1 oligo, that's a peptide, an anti-SOD1 peptide, and they lived 22% longer. That's not what we're talking about here. We don't want to live 22% longer. We want to get rid of the pain and have movement in our body. If you understand the nature of disease as an inflammatory, i.e. immune, i.e. defensive, i.e. protective, you have the answer to the problem. And it's not a drug, an anti-SOD1 oligopeptide. All right, from clinicaltrials.gov, vagus nerve stimulation for treating adults with fibromyalgia, with severe fibromyalgia. I've been saying this for years. The vagus nerve is your calming nerve. It's your rest and digest nerve. It does a lot of things. Vagus means wanderer, by the way, because the vagus nerve travels all over the body, and it calms everything down. The body is in this constant interplay. The end result of the body, what we see and how we feel, how we perceive, and how we experience ourselves, or how we experience our bodies, is the end result of a combination of stimulation and rest. It's a balance. It's like a bottom line in a business. Business has a bottom line. It's always in the red. It's always spending money. It's always making money. But the bottom line is either in the red or in the black. Likewise in the body. The body is either sympathetic. The body is either net sympathetic, bottom line sympathetic, or bottom line parasympathetic, although there are different areas of the body where you have both. It's the bottom line that counts. The bottom line that you want is one of contentment and relaxation and rest. Now, there are times you need to be sympathetic. You need to be in the sympathetic mode. For example, to get up in the morning, you need to be in a sympathetic mode. To run from a lion, to get out of the way of a speeding automobile. There are lots of times you need to be sympathetic. So it's not as simplistic as you want to be one or the other, but you want your net to be relaxed. We do our best work when we're relaxed. We're most productive when we're relaxed. We absorb nutrients best when we're relaxed. We feel good the best when we are relaxed. Learning to relax, learning to access the vagus. You're going to hear more and more about this. I've been talking about it for decades. And you're now starting to hear something called polyvagal theory. which basically is the same idea. This idea that we are in post-traumatic stress, most of us, from being born, basically, but let alone the horrific childhoods, from an emotional standpoint, even if you had a good childhood, from an emotional standpoint, it's built in, fear is built in. We're hardwired. In fact, we're basically inherited it in a way because we're the survivors of ancestors. We're the descendants of ancestors who made it, who survived by being by at least having a little bit of fear, so they could get out of the way of a lion or tiger. So it's kind of hardwired into us. Nonetheless, learning to access the vagus, learning to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, number one best strategy is SDR breathing. Nothing beats it. It'll happen quickly with SDR breathing, as can be witnessed with a blood pressure cuff. Anything that lowers your blood pressure with a blood pressure cuff can be thought of as a marker for the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, of the vagus. And you can play with it. Get a blood pressure cuff for $50 or $60, a deluxe one for $100 off Amazon. Easy to use, super easy. You can use it as a monitor to monitor how well how dominant your parasympathetic nervous system is. Now, you don't want your blood pressure to drop too much, obviously, but if you notice that your blood pressure is high, most people, and there's no real high or low. But if you're like most people, you're going to be around 120-ish, 120 over 80, 130. If you're up 140s, something like a 90, 100, you're starting to get up there. I don't really know what the effective measurement is. I know what they tell you it is, but I don't know where you have to be. Everybody's probably different. But just notice that when you practice your SDR breathing for 5 minutes, it will drop. When you sit in or lay down or get into a warm bath or even a warm shower, it will drop. When you sit in a hot tub, it will drop. There are certain things you could do to drop your blood pressure. This is your monitor, your marker that will tell you that you've activated the parasympathetic nervous system and you're on the road to healing. If you're sick, it is an indicator that you're on the road to healing, that you're activating the body's built-in healing system. And that is what's key. It's built in. It's a built-in healing system. We just need to access it. All right, we'll get your calls next segment. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Right Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lots of lines open. Let's hit the phones and talk to Barry in Louisiana. Good morning, Barry. How you doing, my friend?
Yes, good morning.
I'm going to give you a lot of time today. You're the only guy on the phone, so we'll give you lots of time, and you always have interesting topics. So what do you got for us today?
Oh, yes. I want to ask you about, are you of the opinion that it's vital to maintain the alkalinity of one?
Well, yeah, but that's what the breathing is about. That's what the slow, deep breathing is about. That's how that's nature's way of making sure that our body is oxygenated. Oxygen is alkaline. Carbon dioxide is acid. You blow off acid, you breathe in alkaline. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Now, as far as eating alkaline and drinking alkaline, I'm not buying into that too much. You do want to make sure you have electrolytes and minerals, and those are buffering agents for the blood. So you got to make sure you're eating, healthy. But the idea of drinking alkaline water, and I don't know if I can't imagine how alkalinity survives the stomach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stomach's got a pH of 2. It's about as acidic as you can get, especially if you're eating. If maybe on an empty stomach, it's got a pH of 3 or 4. Probably not as high as 4, but it's very low is what I'm saying. How does alkaline water survive the stomach? Are you with me?
Yes.
So I'm not really sure how that can be. You do need the electrolytes that are found in, citrus in fruits, vegetables. Citrus fruits are interesting because they're alkaline, even though you wouldn't think they are, or they have alkalizing substances in them, I should say. They're alkaline. They tend the body towards alkaline, but you can't get alkaline by eating water, by eating. Now, on the other hand, toxicity is acidic. Stress is acidic. So by eating a crappy diet, you can run more acidic. So I guess by eating healthy, that can help because you're not putting in the toxic stuff. So in that way, you can help maintain alkalinity. But the bottom line is slow, deep breathing. Understanding this idea of armoring. Check this out, Barry, and everybody else. When we're under stress, we contract. When we're born, we're very soft and malleable. But over time, we become more and more micro-contracted. By the time you're 80 years old, you've got all these micro-contractions keeping you from moving, keeping you from healing, keeping you from touching your toes, keeping you from being able to get out of bed without pain, or get out of a seated position or a laying down position, or even getting into a laying down position on the floor. All of these are the end results of micro-contractions. These micro-contractions, they've been called armoring, A-R-M-O-R-I-N-G, physical armoring. That's what Dr. Wilhelm Reich called him, a very fascinating, brilliant therapist, healing man who died in prison. It's a whole other story. Anyway, he talked about body armoring. Another guy named Dr. Alexander Lowen. He's got a bunch of good books. They're a little bit technical, but they're really good. And they explain this concept very well. Dr. Alexander Lowen, L-O-W-E-N. Books with titles like Fear of Living, or Fear of Joy, or just Joy and Fear. He talks about the idea that when we're under stress, we micro-contract. It starts at a very young age. As we age, as the years and the decades go by, we become more and more micro-contracted. These micro-contracted areas represent pockets of what is called hypoxia, pockets of lack of oxygen. Under conditions of lack of oxygen, toxins start to accumulate, and you get these pockets of death, basically. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but they're pockets of just unhealthy areas. And there's, like I say, it accumulates. So by the time you're 40, you've got a lot more than you did when you were 10. By the time you're 60, you got a lot more than you were when you were 40. And by the time you're 80, you got a lot more than you did when you were 60 or 40 or 20. And that's why most people die, or at least the average age of death is around 80. So what the key is by your SDR breathing, what you're doing is you're driving oxygen into these pockets of micro-contraction, releasing the contraction. By the way, these contracted areas stimulate the secretion of stress hormones, hormones of survival, hormones of fear. This is one of the reasons we're in constant fear, is because we're constantly secreting hormones of fear out of these pockets of hypoxic armoring. Hope that's not too complicated. Does that make sense, what I just explained? Can you picture that, Barry?
Yes, I'm attempting to picture it, yes.
Okay. I hope I'm not getting too complicated. It's important to use your imagination for these things, because you got to picture what's happening in your body. It's like I was saying earlier. If we can't picture what's happening in our body, we become victim. So that's why something as simple as SDR breathing can be so helpful, because it releases these pockets of contracted muscle and contracted tissue. Make a fist, Barry. Can you make a fist? And everybody listening, make a fist right now. Make a strong fist. Can you make it really strong, Barry?
Yes.
Really strong, like you're squeezing, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a microscopic level, you have those fists all over your body, if you're like most people. When you breathe, now relax your fist. Are you relaxing your fist?
Yes.
Can you feel the difference between tightening the fist and relaxing the fist?
Yes.
Okay? Relaxing the fist, can you imagine if your fist was covering up a hose or a tube? Can you imagine if you squeeze the fist, how would the water or the fluid go through the tube? If you squeeze your fist really hard, would it go through?
Well,
if you have a tube in the middle of your fist and you squeeze your fist really, really hard, is the fluid going to go through the tube?
Doesn't seem like it, right?
No, it doesn't seem like it, does it? Now, relax your fist. Can you see how the fluid now goes through the tube?
Yes.
That's your body. That's disease in a nutshell. That's aging in a nutshell. Fists and tubes, plumbing, flow. That's all it is. What we're trying to do is we're trying to increase flow. In fact, I've talked about this before, but psychologically, flow is a thing. They actually talk about it in psychological papers and peer-reviewed journals. Flow, F-L-O-W, Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I'm not even going to try to spell that, but it starts with a C. Just look up the book Flow, or read the book Flow, and read the concept of flow, F-L-O-W, flow. They actually call it flow. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Flow means fluid, means movement. Disease is a fist, microcontraction, armoring. Not only does that squeezing impede oxygenation and blood flow, it also secretes stress hormones, which make more fists. By the time you're 60, you got fists all over your body, squeezing, 60, 70, 80. As time goes by, you get more and more fists squeezing the fluids. That's microcontraction. The way you release those fists, open those fists so the fluid can flow, F-L-O-W, move, is by relaxing all the parasympathetic strategies, the vagal strategies we talked about. And SDR breathing is key. It's the simplest and easiest thing to do. Are you with me?
Yes.
All right. And by the way, a lot of pain is associated with these microcontractions. A lot of physical pain, agony. Microcontractions lead to, over the course of time in the connective tissue, lead to disc pain. I meant to talk about this today, but I'll talk about it tomorrow. But in the face and in the skin, it leads to wrinkles. And nobody talks about it. When you have stress from your bills, you get microcontractions in your face, and this is where crepey skin comes from, and wrinkles, and we all want wrinkle creams. And if you do it right, you can make some difference with wrinkle creams, but what you really want to do is learn to relax, open things up. There's a thing called facial yoga. Have you heard of this? Facial yoga? Yoga in general is a great strategy for improving flow. Yoga means oneness, connectedness. When we're contracted, we're disconnected. When we're open, everything's moving, it's connected, it's integrated. You can do a thing called face yoga. They do it for the face. Yoga is a great health strategy, and I know it's got all kinds of baggage associated with it, and because it started in India, but whatever. It's just a great physical strategy for anti-aging because it supports, enhances, improves fluidity, flow. All right, does that help you? Does that answer your question? Oxygenation improves fluidity is the bottom line. Oxygen is a fluidizing agent.
Yeah, but what I'm a little confused on, if alkalinity is important, why is it, and if the food one eats affects alkalinity, why should one not also be careful about what one eats?
No, who said you shouldn't be careful about what one eats? That's my whole story. You have to be careful about what you eat.
So far as maintaining the acid.
Alkalinity? Yes, that's what I say. Toxicity, that's what I was telling you. Toxicity will accelerate acidity. So if you lay off the sugar, you're going to be more alkaline. Okay, sugar is very acidifying because it's very stressful on the body. So alkalinity can be improved by foods, absolutely. But what I was talking about is the products you buy that increase alkalinity through eating. Those things I'm not really convinced about, especially the waters, the alkaline waters. All right, Barry, I hope I helped you. I hope I didn't confuse things, but we're out of time either way. So you're always welcome to call back, and I know you will do that because you always got good stuff to say. I appreciate it. Thanks, Barry. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for the longevity products and the longevity business, truthtreatments.com for our Truth Skin Health products, and we've got holiday specials for the next month or so. Thanks for listening. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.